come the aliens, they're coming right down to earth. Watch out, it's the aliens, run for all you worth. Here come the Lost Boys, they're in Japan. Wendy and the Lost Boys are making their last stand. It's an alien show. It's an alien show. It's an alien show.
At long last, we have come to the end of Alien Earth. The finale was the best episode of television I've ever seen in my life. By far. The best. Amazing. No, it was shit. I mean, this is not... It's so hard to qualify these things. Is this shit on the level of Rings of Power? No. Is this shit on the level of Fear the Walking Dead? Definitely not. Is this like The Acolyte bad? I don't think I would even go so far as to say that. It's like it was bad, but it was almost good. Like it had the components there. It had pretty reasonably strong actors. It had great sets, special effects. The music was good, except for when they put in all the rock songs for some reason at the end of the episodes. There were a lot of components here that I think were pretty good, and then there was the script. And that's where everything fell apart. Again, I don't think it was ever quite as just in-your-face, aggressively awful as something like Rings of Power. You don't have that bad of lines. Like, some of the dialogue is actually pretty engaging. In this finale, you had a couple good lines. Adam Ines, who we discover is a synth, says that he warned Boy Cavalier about putting children into these synth bodies because it would be, are we there yet for eternity? I thought that was pretty good. And I'm paraphrasing, obviously. So there were, in this show, there is some redeeming stuff going on, but there's just so much dumb shit. It's amazing. It's staggering that the same guy who created the first season of Fargo, which is a great season of television, and who created Legion, which is a weird but really pretty strong season of superhero television. It's amazing that the same guy, Noah Hawley, was responsible for this slop. Slop is a new word that people use now, so I'm using it because I want to stay hip to the times. It's actually a pretty useful word. It describes exactly what we've been getting so much of these days. So episode 8. There's so much wrong with this. I'm just going to go over a few of the things that I thought were really jarring and then kind of maybe dive into why it was so unsatisfying. It opens with some nice establishing shots. We get the beach with some crabs on the beach and the body of Arthur laying there looking all corpsey. And I'm like, all right, this is nice. This looks good. It's another one of those moments in the show where I'm like, visually, this is really cool. And then the xenomorph comes up to the body on the beach, and you see its big old head, and it's sort of sniffing around, and then there's a shot of its leg. I don't know. It just looks like a dude's leg. Like, it looks like a guy wearing black leather pants. Like, it doesn't look like an alien. It literally looks like a guy dressed up as an alien. Anytime they show anything more than just like the head or a silhouette of this thing, it looks like a guy in an alien suit. And I just can't believe it, honestly. It's so bad. I cannot believe that they actually did that. It's wild. Then you cut up to Dame Sylvia, the wife of Arthur, and she is going to the graves that the hybrids found in the last episode. She's going down there with some flowers to put on the graves, and she's wearing a gypsy costume, or like I don't know. She looks like somebody who would read a crystal ball, or a pirate. It's probably supposed to be pirate because of all the Peter Pan stuff constantly thrown at us in the show. Anyways, she goes to the graves, and all I can think as I'm watching this, and we're just a few minutes in now, and all I can think is, what the fuck is she doing going to the graves right now? Why would you go anywhere? Like, how does she not know, as all this chaos is going on in the facility and on the island, they've been invaded by Weyland-Yutani with Morrow and his troops. There's a xenomorph on the loose. For all she knows, there's more than one. The lab is in total lockdown. There's alarms sounding everywhere. And off she goes with her flowers down to the graves. And then the xenomorph shows up. Now, this is a xenomorph who in the previous episode killed dozens of soldiers with automatic rifles. Bullets do not touch this. I think they're using like pellet guns or paintball guns or something, because bullets do hurt xenomorphs, but not in this show. Anyways, the xenomorph comes up right behind her and she turns around and she's all scared. And then these 4 Prodigy soldiers show up and shoot at it and runs away. Why? Why does it run away? Up until this point, it would just kill anything like in a split second. Like that party with all the people in the French wigs and shit. He killed like everyone in that party, the previous xenomorph, not this xenomorph. In like literally 15 seconds, they were all dead. But here, you know, he just runs off because he gets shot at. It makes no sense. It's just these little details. I know, like people, on a certain level, I understand when people are like, you know, just stop nitpicking. I want to stop nitpicking. But the show has to give me a break. It has to give me a break from all the dumb shit that I can't help but nitpick because it's just thrown at us constantly. So many more moments in this episode. There's, they put the hybrids, they put Morrow and Joe, Wendy's brother, into a holding cell, and they put the hybrids in another holding cell, these big round holding cells. And they, as they're talking, they say, we don't have a holding cell for synths, so this isn't very secure. Why? Why don't they have a holding cell for synths? They just created all of these hybrids with crazy powers. They're supposed to be better than synths, better than people. You created them at this facility. Why would you not have a holding cell that could keep them? That is insane. Like how many things can you not plan for? There's no failsafe in these hybrids. He can't turn them off. He can't take control of them. And that's crazy because as Boy Cavalier points out, they are floor models. They want to sell this technology to rich people. If you were selling this technology to rich people and you were an unscrupulous guy like Boy Cavalier, wouldn't you design these hybrid bodies to be controllable so that you could have power over the people that bought them? Like, really? Nothing? And then just the basic security stuff. Wouldn't you want to have the ability to turn these things off like they do in Westworld, which I'm going to get to in a bit. In Westworld, the hosts, they can turn them off at any point. There are tons of fail-safes in place, tons of security. Obviously, in Westworld, if you've seen it, things still go badly for the people running the park. But not because they didn't have anything, any safety measures, any security measures, any fail-safes. They had all that stuff in place and things still went wrong. And that's all I've been asking for with Alien Earth, that the very most basic, rudimentary aspects of safety and security are in place so that when the hybrids go bad, they have to have a little struggle. They have to have a little conflict. They have to have some obstacles to overcome in order to break free. And they don't. It's just smooth sailing. And this is also because Wendy is a Mary Sue. Wendy Sue. That's what she is. She's a Wendy Sue. That's the new term. Forget Mary Sue. Now we have Wendy Sue. So Boy Cavalier comes to the holding cell with the hybrids in it. And he opens the door and goes in with his one bodyguard. He doesn't bring a team of bodyguards with zapper laser guns that can freeze like Joe shot Nibs with last episode. He just goes in with one guy, and he tells him his little sob story about when he was a kid, in which he reveals that as a 6-year-old, he built his own synth to kill his drunk, abusive father, which is... You have to be pretty smart to do that. A lot of fans of the show are like, well, he's actually not that smart. He's just, it's just a parody. It's social satire of tech bros and who everyone says are smart, but they're not really that smart. But honestly, if you're building a synth when you're 6 years old and then you build an empire and it becomes one of the largest corporations in the world and you rule 1/5 of the planet, like he clearly isn't just like some Nepo baby. He's actually a boy genius, literally. And yet he just is constantly doing stupid shit. There's like almost an explanation for this when Kirsh tells him that his ADHD makes him have problems with impulse control. But it goes so much further than impulse control. It's down to the very nature of this place, of Neverland, of the facilities, how there's no security, and then the characters continually do such stupid things. So obviously, Nibs beats the shit out of this security guard, and then Wendy tells Boy Cavalier to run. I'm not sure why. Why don't they just capture him right then and there? I guess they're just being sadistic, which is fine, whatever. So he takes off, and mean, before all this, Wendy was fucking with the security system. She was, they make it look like one of the elevators is going to self-destruct when some of the security people are in it. She lets Morrow free, and since there's only one guard guarding Morrow and Joe, he escapes. They escape pretty easily. Because Wendy is able to take control of all the systems. She's able to communicate with the xenomorph even though he's out in the jungle. So at any range, basically. It's like a magical walkie-talkie from Fear the Walking Dead. And, of course, she summons the xenomorph back. I guess she wants it to hunt down Boy Cavalier, but they still don't kill him. They capture him. Morrow escapes. He and Kirsh get in a fight. Timothy Olyphant gets to draw a gun really quickly, and that's cool because, Timothy Olyphant... He's known, from Justified and Deadwood and all these things that he's done. It's kind of like that quick draw, martial gunfighter. So it's cool to see that. I like Kirsh. I like Morrow. I like T. Ocelus, the eyeball alien. That's about it. That's pretty much it. Wendy, well, Adam Ines brings Joe to the room with the eyeball alien, and he tries to get the eyeball alien to possess Joe, right? But Joe fights it off, and then Wendy shows up. And as Wendy's trying to save Joe, it's revealed that Adam Ines is actually a synth. Presumably, and I'm not sure if this was made clear, but I didn't catch it, presumably the synth that Boy Cavalier created to be like his figurehead in his company and to kill his dad and stuff. Anyways, he throws Joe to the ground and knocks him unconscious, and then he throws Wendy across the room, and it's all set up to be this cool moment, this big reveal. He's actually a synth. He's really powerful. He's gonna smack Wendy down. She's gonna have a fight for her life, right? She's gonna have to, as he's choking her out on the floor, she's gonna have to reach for the stapler and bash him over the head. You know how that works. But no, she just raises her hand and freezes him with the force of Wendy Sue. It's just she's so incredibly overpowered that there's just no friction with her character. There's no struggle. There's no real conflict that she can't overcome. She's just the absolute most girl boss ever. And at first in this series, her attitude wasn't that girl bossy, so that was cool. But as it's gone on, she's just gotten really so self-assured and so confident. I mean, even when she has this monologue, or this, I guess it's more of a dialogue with Joe, she's like, I don't know if I'm not a kid. I'm not a grown up. I don't know what I am. She doesn't know what she is, but she's still supremely confident in every one of her actions. And this sort of gets to kind of one of my larger problems with the whole season and with the story and how it's all come to pass, which is that I don't understand her motivations. I really don't get it. She gets mad because the scientists wipe Nibs's memory. Before that point, she was pretty much on board with Boy Cavalier, with Prodigy, with, this new lease on life. She was excited to do science and use her newfound powers to communicate with the alien. But then Nib's memory is wiped, and she goes completely 180 degrees in the other direction. She is, she thinks Boy Cavalier is the devil, Prodigy is they're monsters, nobody's safe here. And it's just sort of a weird turn, because even if is it that bad that they wiped Nibs's memory? Is it that bad? She was traumatized and acting crazy and losing her shit. She thought she was pregnant. She was being really, violent and volatile. So why is it so horrible that they wiped just a small portion of her memory? It's not like they wiped her memory of her childhood or all her friends. They just wiped this traumatic event. Isn't that a perk? I mean, even if she disagrees with it, is the answer to just burn the whole thing down and kill a bunch of innocent people? I mean, you could say that the security guards aren't innocent, but honestly, they're just security guards. And there were also cleaning ladies and shit. A bunch of people got killed because she was mad that they wiped Nibs's memory. And she also gets very mad at Joe when he shoots Nibs, very mad, but Nibs is fine. She's not dead. She just got tasered, basically. So I don't really this is the thing. This is the main conflict of the show. I guess there's two. There's Morrow trying to infiltrate and take back the xenomorphs for Weyland-Yutani, and then there's Wendy turning on her own boss. And while I understand the first one, I really don't understand this one. And it's sort of central to how this entire season plays out, and it just doesn't really make sense for me. The other thing that doesn't really make sense is Kirsh. it was really obvious for several episodes that he was orchestrating, or at least standing by and observing while things went really, really wrong. And then it seemed like his whole ploy was just to capture Morrow. Like, did he need to let the xenomorph out? Did he need to have Arthur die and Toodles die, the $6 billion synth hybrid? Did he need all these security guards? Did all this need to happen just to capture Morrow? Couldn't they have just set an ambush for Morrow and sent the boys down and made it look like this was all, like, why does it have to be all secretive? Like, it's like they're setting Kirsh up as this master manipulator, or they want you to think he is, and then really all he's done is just capture the guy that was coming to try to take the xenomorphs, which is all pointless anyways, because Weyland-Yutani jams their satellites and sends in a bunch of fighter ships filled with spec ops dudes who are going to come in and take over the whole base anyways. So what's the point of that whole plot line? These are like major plot lines where I just don't see the motivations making sense, and I don't see how the pieces came together in any way that made any sense from a narrative standpoint either. Thematically, like, what are they doing with this show? What are they trying to say? This episode was called The Real Monsters. Well, who are the real monsters? Is it Boy Cavalier and Adam Ines and like Prodigy? Are we supposed to think they're the real monsters? Are we supposed to think that the hybrids are the real monsters? Because by the end, like when they're like, what are you going to do now, Wendy? She's like, we're going to rule. You're going to rule? What are you going to rule? Like, why is that? What? Like, it feels very, okay, I called it in my review at Forbes, I called it Temu Westworld, because it feels like this, like there's so many similarities between this show and Westworld, right? Except for the fact that the first season of Westworld was amazing, a masterpiece, and this is dog shit. But, in Westworld, you've got the park, you've got the hosts, you have Dr. Robert Ford, played by Anthony Hopkins, and his old partner, Arthur, before the park opened, wanted to stop everything because he believed that these hosts, these synths, these robots, were close to achieving real human consciousness, and that it would be terribly, terribly, terribly immoral and unethical and cruel to have them suffer all the indignities and rape and murder that they would have to suffer in the park if they were actually at a level of human consciousness. But Ford disagreed, and Arthur died. And then years and years later, Ford sort of comes around to his way of thinking and continues his whole weird maze thing. And Dolores sort of slowly wakens up to this, her own reality, and hears her own voice. And it's a very, that whole season was so beautifully crafted with the two different timelines and all the cool mysteries and just sort of everything sort of built into this great reveal at the end. And it's very powerful. And there's this sense that, now these hosts are going to throw off the shackles of their human masters and break free. And it's really cool. And the same sort of thing is they're trying to do the same thing in Alien with these synth hybrids. But for one thing, these are not actual synths. They are human consciousnesses already. Like they actually took those human consciousnesses, put them in a synth. So there's not really a question of like, are they human or not? Or at least it's not explored in a way that I found very interesting. They don't really interrogate that very much. And by the end of it, it's just sort of like, well, I guess Boy Cavalier was kind of mean, and so it made sense for her to kill all these people. But that doesn't... In Westworld, these hosts were literally being murdered, raped, tortured. Like, there's a lot of good motivation for them to rebel and fight back. In Alien Earth, they just kind of have like one little thing go wrong, and then it's just all hell breaks loose. So thematically, what are they trying to say here? What is the message of the show? What is the point? What are they trying to get us to? And maybe I'm just not thinking deeply enough here, but I do not see what the point of this show is. All of these plot lines kind of go nowhere. The whole Kirsh thing goes nowhere. We never hear the eyeball speak through a human. It's funny that the eyeball it skips all these other bodies, all these other people, and it goes all the way down to the beach and finds Arthur's body somehow. That's just silly. I think it's 100% because Noah Hawley wants to keep that actor in season 2. Because that's an actor from Fargo season 5. And he was fantastic in Fargo season 5. Even though I didn't really care for that season, he was great. Again, lots of great actors in that season. Lots of great actors here. Really bad script. So I think he just wanted to keep him around because that was goofy and just another really convenient little plot thing that the show does. And And I'm probably forgetting some stuff. I mean, there's more Peter Pan stuff, obviously. You know, we have Boy Cavalier who's like, all my lost boys are locked up. Who will I play with now? And it's like, okay, really? Even Wendy has a bit where she talks about Peter Pan and how he was mad when Wendy grows up. And so he kidnaps her daughter Jane. And then later Curly, the chick that's always sort of jealous of Wendy, renames herself Jane. I joked in my written review that in season 2, Wendy's going to kill Boy Cavalier, and like as she's about to do it, he's going to say Peter Pan's line that death will be the greatest adventure of them all. I know it's happening. Or else in season 2 they're going to drop all the Peter Pan stuff and pick some other Disney property. You know, we got Ice Age, which is now a Disney property because of the purchase of 20th Century Fox. And we had Peter Pan. So, I mean, they could go, like, Wendy could, like, go into the ocean to get away from Weyland-Yutani. And then we've got, Little Mermaid references available. I mean, there could be a whole thing where she escapes the evil queen of Weyland-Yutani. And then you've got the whole, like, mirror, mirror on the wall, Snow White thing. I mean, she looks like Snow White. That chick looks more like Snow White than Rachel Zegler. Zegler? I can never remember how to say her name. So yeah, anyways, that's, what can I say? I just feel like this was a totally pointless season. You probably could have told the whole story in a 2-hour movie, because there's a bunch of filler and a bunch of character arcs that just go nowhere, and really not a lot of character development other than Wendy, and her character arc is just, turning up the dial on the girl boss machine. Until she becomes this ludicrous, overpowered character. And interestingly, I did see a lot more criticism of the finale than from people who, I heard from a lot of people who were like, I liked the rest of the season, but this finale was super disappointing. I don't really know how that works because pretty much every problem with this finale was built. The building blocks for the problem were all in the previous episodes. But I think it was just unsatisfying because so many things that people expected, like the eyeball alien finally getting to talk, like some resolution with Weyland-Yutani coming in, like anything other than just Wendy saying we're going to rule and then Pearl Jam playing. Like I can see how even if I had actually somehow liked the rest of the season, that this ending would be pretty disappointing. But really, it was just the whole season was dog shit. So let me know what you thought of it. If you watched it, down in the comments. Be sure to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and thank you. Peace.
It's an alien show.